increasing and decreasing functions is one of the very important topic of the chapter application of derivatives. Usually we expect 4 marks of question from this topic in CBSE, ICSE and state boards. But it may sometimes happen that very short answer type of questions or MCQ may also be asked from the same topic. So it's better to go through the topic very well with all the concepts. So let us reveal the concepts of this topic with the help of some daily life examples and examples from your previous knowledge as well as using the graphs. So let us go ahead. Let us try to understand the meaning of increasing function by taking some examples. You have already studied direct variations in your secondary classes. In direct variations, the easiest example that you have come across is the cost problems. You know very well that if the quantity of any object increases, then its cost also increases. So as the quantity increases, cost also increases. Similarly, you can take example of your age. As the years are increasing, 2002, 2003, 2004 and so on, your age is also increases. So what does it mean? All these changes are the direct changes, direct variations. Let us consider one of the quantity as variable x and other quantity as variable y. What we are observing, as the one quantity x increases, the next quantity, the another quantity y is also increases. So such type of changes if we observe in functions. Suppose y is equal to fx is a function, then if increase in x results increase in y, then it is called increasing function. Let me explain increasing function with the help of graph as well. So as I told you, a function is said to be an increasing function if increase in its one variable results in increase in another variable. Let us see it on the graph. From this graph, it is clear that x1 is less than x2. So the resultant fx1 is also less than fx2. So it results that fx1 is also less than fx2. Similarly, if we take more values, suppose let to the left of x1, let me take one value a, then fa will be this, which will be less than fx1. Similarly, if we go on increasing the values on x-axis, then values on y-axis are also increasing. So that's why this is the graph of an increasing function. Means when the axis increases, it also results increase in y, then it is called increasing function. Now let us come to the meaning of decreasing function. In decreasing function, we know or we can take example of inverse variation. Inverse variation you can take example of like suppose 10 workers are working on a construction work and they complete the work in 60 days. But due to some emergency reasons, we need to complete the work in 30 days. So what we need to do? You know very well that we have to increase the number of workers. What is happening over here? With the increase in number of workers, the number of days are decreasing. So clearly it is the inverse variation. So here, if we consider number of workers as the variable x and days as variable y, so we are observing that with the increase in x, value of y is decreasing. So such type of changes are, if such type of changes are there in the function, then it is called decreasing function. Suppose the function is y is equal to fx, then in this, with the increase in x, if y decreases, or with the decrease in x, y increases, then it is called decreasing function. Let us take graph of decreasing function to understand the concept very well. So, a function is said to be a decreasing function if decrease in one of its variable results in the increase of another variable, or the increase in one variable results in the decrease in another variable. Let us understand this graph. Here clearly x1 is less than x2. So what we are observing that for x1 the value on y-axis of the function is fx1 and on x2 the value is fx2. So what we are observing from the graph, it is very clear that fx1 is greater than fx2. So as soon as the values of x will increase, the value of fx will decrease. Similarly, we can take other values to the right hand side of x2 as well as to the left hand side of x1. We will find the same change over here. So this is about what is the decreasing function. You will come across two more terms, strictly increasing and strictly decreasing. So a function fx is said to be strictly increasing function on any interval ab if the condition x1 greater than x2 implies fx1 greater than fx2 for all ab. Means at each and every point of the interval, if the function is increasing, then it is called strictly increasing function. Similarly, for strictly decreasing function fx on the interval ab is said to be strictly decreasing if for x1 less than x2 implies the result fx1 greater than fx2 for all ab. Means on each point of the interval, if the function is decreasing, then it is called strictly decreasing. If we are using the word increasing and decreasing, then maybe that the function is not increasing either at a or at b. So in that case, we'll use the word only increasing or decreasing. But if it is increasing or decreasing everywhere, then in the given interval, then we'll use strictly increasing and strictly decreasing. In this chapter, we will come across two types of problems. One is without derivative to find whether the function is increasing or decreasing, and another, and the important method, is by using derivatives to show that the function is increasing or decreasing function. So first of all, I am going to explain the method without derivative. So here, as we know that for the given function, if for the two values of x, let x1 and x2, such that x1 greater than x2 implies the result fx1 greater than fx2, then the function is strictly increasing. So we'll use the same concept over here to do this question. So here, let us consider that x1 and x2 belongs to real number, as nothing is given over here. So let us take real number such that fx1 greater than fx2. Now if we prove that this results implies x1 greater than x2, then the function will be strictly increasing. So let us write the value of fx1 over here. It is clearly 3x1 minus 7 greater than 3x2 minus 7. We know very well in inequalities we can add the same number on both sides, then there will be no change in the inequality sign. So we can write it as 3x1 greater than 3x2. Similarly, in the next step, if we divide both sides by 3, then again no change in the inequality sign. So we are getting x1 greater than x2. We are observing that fx1 greater than fx2 implies the result x1 greater than x2. So which implies that the function is strictly increasing function. I would like to take next example, according to which we need to show that the function fx is equal to minus 2x plus 5 is strictly decreasing function. So to prove this, we'll proceed in the same manner that for x1 less than x2 implies the result fx1 greater than fx2, or we can start with fx1 and fx2 also. So let x1 and x2 are the two numbers from real numbers such that fx1 is greater than fx2. Let us write the value of fx1 and fx2. Clearly this is minus 2x1 plus 5 greater than minus 2x2 plus 5. So from inequalities, you know very well that on subtracting 5 from both sides, there is no change in the inequality sign. So we are having minus 2x1 greater than minus 2x2. Further, we know that if we divide both sides by any negative number, then inequality sign get reversed. So the next step will be to divide both sides by minus 2. So clearly it will be written as x1 less than x2. So what does it mean? fx1 greater than fx2 implies the result x1 less than x2. What does it mean? It means the function is strictly decreasing function for all real numbers. When no interval is given, then we are going to take for the real numbers. In example 3rd, I have taken a function in which interval is given to prove that it is strictly increasing. So the given function is x square, fx is equal to x square, and we need to show that this function is strictly increasing on 0 to infinity. So here the value x1, y1 that we take will belong to the given interval. Let x1, x2 belong to 0 to infinity. Proceeding in the same way such that fx1 is greater than fx2. You can take less than sign over here, doesn't matter you are starting with greater than sign or less than sign. You may start with any of the sign, just we need to prove that the sign remains same or just reversed. So we are starting with fx1 greater than fx2. So clearly it is x1 square greater than x2 square. As x1, x2 belongs to 0 to infinity means the positive numbers. So after taking square root on both sides, we are simply getting x1 greater than x2. So clearly fx1 greater than fx2 implies the result x1 greater than x2. It means the function is strictly increasing. In this example, I just changed the interval. Function is same, fx is equal to x square, and it is, we need to show that strictly decreasing on minus infinity to 0. The motive of taking this example is to show you that how the interval affects the function, that it will be increasing or decreasing. Here when the interval is 0 to infinity, the function was increasing. Now we need to prove that when the function is in the interval minus infinity to 0, then the function will be decreasing function. So let us do with the same method. Let x1, x2 belongs to the given interval which is minus infinity to 0, such that fx1 is greater than fx2, which implies x1 square greater than x2 square, and which implies the result x1 less than x2. Why this is so? Because here x1 and x2 are the two negative numbers. So when we apply taking root on both sides, clearly we will get negative numbers and the sign will get changed. You can understood this problem like by starting, let x1 and x2 are the two numbers belongs to the interval minus infinity to 0, such that x1 greater than x2. This is its alternative method, x1 greater than x2. So multiplying both sides by the negative number, we can say x1. So x1 square will be less than x1 into x2. Why this is so? Because x1 is any negative number, and if we multiply both sides by any negative number, then the sign of inequality will change. So this is result 1. Now let us multiply the same with another negative number, that is let us say x2. So in that case x1 into x2 again will be less than x2 square, which clearly gives us the result x1 square less than x2 square, and which is nothing but simply fx1 less than fx2. So we have started with x1 greater than x2 and we reach up to fx1 less than fx2. The sign of inequality get changed. So therefore we have proved that the function is strictly decreasing on the interval minus infinity to 0. You can use this method in other questions also. Either you may use this one or this one in each and every question. Now the next is the functions that is neither increasing nor decreasing. So here is the graph for such type of function. If we look at this graph from the value x1 to x4, we find that this function is decreasing from x1 to x2. Again, as we move from x2 to x3, the function is increasing. The next, again, if we move from x3 to x4, the function is decreasing. So from x1 to x4, the function is increasing in decreasing from x1 to x2, increasing from x2 to x3, and again decreasing from x3 to x4. So such type of functions are called neither increasing nor decreasing function. In such type of problems, the problem will be asked in such a way that to find out the interval in which the function is increasing and in which the function is decreasing. So we'll come across these problems ahead. The next name that you should know is monotonic function. The monotonic function is that which is either increasing or decreasing in a given particular interval. So let us take example of exponential function. Here is the graph of y is equal to e power x, that is exponential function. So here we observe that from minus infinity to plus infinity, the function goes on increasing. So therefore the function e power x is the monotonic function because it is increasing for a given particular interval. Similarly, let us take example of e power minus x. Here we observe that the graph is going on decreasing from minus infinity to plus infinity. So therefore, this is also a monotonic function because it is decreasing for the given interval. Similarly, as we just took the examples of these two, like fx is equal to x square is strictly increasing on 0 to infinity. So we can also say that fx is equal to x square is monotonic function for the given interval 0 to infinity. And similarly, we can say for this function which is monotonic for the given interval minus infinity to 0. So I hope you understood what is the meaning of monotonicity of the function. The next is we need to prove that whether the function is increasing or decreasing using derivatives. So this is a very simple concept that we can say that fx is increasing if f dash x is greater than 0. Function is, I should say, strictly increasing when f dash x is greater than 0. And the second thing is fx is strictly decreasing if f dash x is less than 0. So the only need that if a function is given to us, then we need to calculate f dash x, means the derivative of the function. And if we prove that the value of f dash x is always positive, then we can say that the function is strictly increasing. And if we prove that f dash x is negative everywhere in the given interval, then we can say the function is strictly decreasing. Let me explain it with the help of graph. So here, this is the function clearly of increasing type. The graph is of the increasing function. So it is clear that whenever we draw tangent at any point on this graph, we will get this type of tangent, and this tangent making an angle theta is acute angle. And we know very well that slope of tangent of this line is given by tan theta, which is nothing but simply f dash x. So when theta is acute, so clearly tan theta will be positive, means f dash x is greater than 0. So it is clear that for the function which is increasing, if at any point we draw the tangent, then f dash x remain positive because theta remain acute. Next, let us take for decreasing function. It is clear from the graph that wherever we draw tangent on this graph, the function, or you can say the slope, at any point will make angle theta, which is nothing but simply obtuse angle. So tan theta will be negative. Means why negative? Because theta is obtuse, means second quadrant. So in second quadrant, tan theta remain negative, which means that f dash x is less than 0. So it is clear from the graph that when the function is increasing, then f dash x will always be positive, and when the function is decreasing, f dash x will always be negative. So by using this concept, we can find out very easily that whether the given function is increasing or decreasing. Let me take the same example again that I have taken where I proved the question without derivative. I have taken the same example, one over here. Previously we proved it with the without using derivative. Now let me prove it with the help of derivative. The given function is fx is equal to 3x minus 7. So let me calculate it, f dash x, which is nothing but clearly 3. So 3 is a positive quantity. So we can say that f dash x is greater than 0 for all real numbers. So therefore we can directly say that the function is strictly increasing function. Similarly, in second example, we have taken the function as minus 2x plus 5. So clearly if this is fx and if we calculate f dash x here, it is minus 2, which is less than 0. So therefore without any difficulty we can say that the function is strictly decreasing for all the real numbers. So similarly you can prove other examples by using derivatives that the function is strictly increasing or decreasing on the given interval. Here we need to prove that cos x is strictly decreasing function from 0 to pi by 2. So it is very easy to prove by using derivatives. The given function is cos x. We will calculate derivative, which is minus sin x. You know very well that sin x is positive in first quadrant, that is from 0 to pi by 2. So clearly f dash x is less than 0 because of this negative sign for all x belongs to 0 to pi by 2. So it means we can clearly say that the function is strictly decreasing for the given interval. The next problem is show that fx is equal to tan inverse sin x plus cos x is an increasing function on the interval 0 to pi by 4. The concept is same as we have done earlier, only the change is in the function. So let us find out how to solve this problem. So the steps remain same. First of all, number 1, we'll find out derivative. Then we need to prove that on the given interval f dash x remain positive everywhere, so that we can say that from 0 to pi by 4 the function is increasing. So let us start with the same. Fx is equal to tan inverse sin x plus cos x. You know very well how to calculate its derivative. F dash x is equal to, this is tan inverse of function. So the derivative is 1 upon 1 plus square of function, that is sin x plus cos x whole square into the derivative of function. We are using chain rule over here. So it is cos x minus sin x. Further, we can write this as taking cos x common from the numerator. It can be written as 1 minus tan x upon 1 plus cos x plus sin x whole square. Now, the thing that is left only to explain that whether this f dash x is positive in the interval 0 to pi by 4 or not. So let us understand. Look at this denominator. This is 1 plus cos x plus sin x whole square. You know very well that square of any quantity is always positive. So this remains positive. Side by side it is having plus 1. So no doubt that denominator is always positive. So we mention it over here as cos x plus sin x whole square plus 1, you can take it with it. So it is cos x plus sin x whole square plus 1 is always positive. Next thing, let us see it cos x. Cos x will also be positive in the interval 0 to pi by 4, that is in the first quadrant. So we'll mention here also cos x is positive for all 0 to pi by 4. The part which is left with us is 1 plus tan x. Now, as tan pi by 4 is 1, but the pi by 4 is an open interval. So, the values if we put from 0 to pi by 4, 4 and 0 are in open interval, then clearly the value of 10x will be less than 1. So it means we are getting 1 minus 10x as positive. So we mention it here as 10x is less than 1 for all 0 to pi by 4, and which implies 1 minus 10x is greater than 0. So in f dash x we are getting cos x is positive, 1 minus 10x is positive, and the whole denominator is positive. So the whole term in f dash x is positive. So it means, so this implies that f dash x remain greater than 0 for all 0 to pi by 4. And you know very well now that if this is positive, implies that fx is strictly increasing in the given interval. The next type of problems that we will come across in this topic is to find out the interval in which the given function is increasing or decreasing, and that you can do in simple 4 steps. These steps are: number 1, find f dash x; number 2, put f dash x is equal to 0 and calculate all the values of x. These values of x generally called critical point. Why to call critical points? Let me explain it. Critical points are the points where the function changes its format. Means if the function is increasing, then at critical point it starts decreasing. Again at another critical point it starts increasing. So these points are called critical points, and these are also called the turning points. Here as we are putting f dash x is equal to 0 means these are the points where the slope of the tangent at these points remain parallel to x-axis. Next step is to make interval. Here I want to tell you one thing, that number of intervals is always one more than that of number of critical values. If values are n, then number of intervals will be n plus 1. Next is to find whether f dash x is positive or negative on any point in the interval, calculated in step 3rd. So suppose let us have one of the interval 1, 2. Then we'll take any point in between this 1, 2. Let us take 1.5. This 1.5 will put in f dash x, and if f dash x is positive, then the function will be increasing in the interval, and if f dash x means at 1.5 is negative, then function is decreasing at the interval 1, 2. So let us take some examples to know how to use these 4 steps in problems. Here is the example. It is find the interval in which the function fx is equal to minus x square minus 2x plus 15 is increasing or decreasing. So let us use these 4 steps. So let us write the given fx is minus x square minus 2x plus 15. Calculate f dash x, which is very simple to find out, and it is minus 2x minus 2. Now the second step is to put f dash x is equal to 0. Put f dash x is equal to 0 implies minus 2x minus 2 is equal to 0, which further implies that the value of x is equal to minus 1. So here we are getting one value. As no interval is given over here, so we will consider the interval for all real numbers, means minus infinity to plus infinity. As I mentioned that the number of intervals will be one more than the number of critical values. So here we are getting only one value of x. So the third step is to make the interval, and we'll get the two intervals. So intervals are, one is minus infinity to minus 1 and another is minus 1 to infinity. Now it is the turn of step number 4. In step number 4, we will take any value in between this interval and find the value of f dash x over here. It is better to write this as minus 2 into x plus 1 because it will be simple for us to find out whether the value will be positive or negative. So let us calculate at minus infinity to minus 1, taking any value, let me take minus 2. So clearly f dash x will be positive because if you put minus 2 over here, the whole value become positive. F dash x is greater than 0. At another interval minus 1 to infinity, taking any value, let us take 0. So it is clearly f dash x is less than 0 because if you put 0 over here, then the value is minus 2, which is negative. What we are getting for the first interval, we are getting f dash x as positive, and for another interval we are getting f dash x as negative. So we can say fx is increasing for minus infinity to minus 1 and decreasing for minus 1 to infinity. So in these 4 steps you can prove very easily that in which interval the function is increasing and where it is decreasing. Next example is, find the intervals in which the function fx is equal to 2x cube plus 9x square plus 12x plus 20 is increasing or decreasing. So let us attempt this question with the simple 4 steps just I have explained. So taking fx, which is equal to 2x cube plus 9x square plus 12x plus 20, calculating f dash x equal to 6x square plus 18x plus 12. Here it is possible to take 6 common, so take it common. So I want to add here that simplify the function as much as you can do. Plus 3x plus 2. Now make factors of this. These are clearly x plus 1 into x plus 2 by splitting the middle terms. So the step number 1 has completed. We have calculated f dash x and we simplified it in terms of factors. The next step is to put f dash x is equal to 0. At f dash x is equal to 0, clearly we are getting, we have x is equal to minus 1 and minus 2. So these are the two values or the critical points. Now the next step is to calculate intervals. Therefore, intervals are will take these in increasing order so that we can have minus infinity to minus 2 first interval, then minus 2 to minus 1 second interval, and minus 1 to infinity the third interval. So these are the intervals. Now let us come to step number 4, in which we need to find out f dash x on any value in between the interval. So f dash x in the interval in minus infinity to minus 2. Let us take value 0 over here, minus 3 over here. So at minus 3. So clearly it is better to put the values x is equal to minus 3 over here, because it is simple to find out whether it is positive or negative from the factorized form. So by putting x is equal to minus 3, clearly this is negative as well as this is negative. So we are getting f dash x as positive. F dash x is greater than 0. Next is f dash x in next interval, that is minus 2 to minus 1. Let us take any value. It is minus 1.5, let us take. So let us find out whether it is positive or negative. When we put x is equal to minus 1.5, this value will be negative and this value will be positive. So overall we are getting negative sign. So we can write that f dash x is less than 0. Now the third one is f dash x in the interval minus 1 to infinity. Let us take it as 0. So clearly f dash x will be positive. Why? Because if you are putting 0 and 0 over here, so the overall result will be positive. So it is greater than 0. So we are getting that for the interval minus infinity to minus 2, f dash x is positive, as well as for the interval minus 1 to infinity, f dash x is positive. And for the interval minus 1 to minus 2 to minus 1, the function is f dash x is negative. So let us summarize the answer. Therefore, fx is increasing, or you can say strictly increasing, in the interval minus infinity to minus 2 union minus 1 to infinity, and decreasing in minus 2 to minus 1. So this is the way how to calculate that the interval where the function is increasing or decreasing. Here I want to tell you one shortcut method to check your answer. For this, draw number line, and on this number line place the values of x that you have calculated. So we have calculated two values over here, minus 2 and minus 1. So let us put minus 1 and minus 2 and minus 1 on the number line. Here it is infinity and here it is minus infinity. So if the sign in front of f dash x is positive, then we will start with positive sign to the right hand side, from the right hand side of this number line. And if the sign in front of f dash x is negative, then we will take the first sign as negative on the number line. So here f dash x is having positive value. So let us start with positive sign over here and then get change alternate. So minus and plus and then again minus. So clearly there is no need to take this sign because we are up to minus infinity only. So it is clear that minus infinity to minus 2 sign is positive, minus 1 to infinity sign is positive. So it means it is proved that minus infinity to minus 2 union minus 1 to infinity, the function is increasing, and decreasing for minus 2 to minus 1. So easily you can check your result, and even in the MCQ questions you can use this method to find out your solution in less time. So this was all about increasing and decreasing functions. Solve more problems on the same topic, and if any problem you may write in comment section. Till then, keep learning.